Hey, how's it going? Josh here from Books by Josh, and this is episode 89 of the Books by Josh audio immersion. This episode is titled Here's What Happened. The last time I recorded an episode, it was back in February. This week is Thanksgiving week, actually Monday, when I started recording this. And a lot's happened since the last episode. This is going to be more of a update and really give you some insight to what's been going on in my life and everything. So if this isn't your type of episode, I fully get it. Just so you know, I'm re-recording this for the second time because there was a problem with the audio before. So here we are again. Let's see what happens. So first things first, back in July, I walked away from my previous job. I was there for over 5.5 years, and I decided to walk away. And I took off the entire month of August. Why do I say I took off? Because I had another job set up for September. Decided to go to Japan. I've always wanted to go. Got my passport just so I could go, and it was amazing. I did get sunburnt walking 2 blocks because I forgot sunscreen, and it was over 100 every single day. If you can, avoid going to Japan in August. But I bought a nice watch that I wanted, a nice Speedmaster. Had fun, came back, did some things, went to a wedding, started a new job. But here's the thing, it's November, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to have this job past December. Why, you may ask? Because it's about performance. I have extensive sales background, retention, and with my current job, my previous job, my job is to retain and sell things. I don't think I'm going to hit the metrics. It is hard, a lot harder than my previous job, and the base pay is more, benefits a bit better, but I don't see a commission if I don't hit the numbers. Whereas before, I got paid per unit. That doesn't happen here. So it's a huge pay cut in commission, and I'm not hitting the numbers. So if I don't hit them this month or next month, that's it. And currently, about 14 out of my group doesn't look like they're gonna make it. But it's sales. Not gonna blame the product. It's a hard job because it's commission based, but uh, it is what it is. So that's the bad things that's going on. But let's talk about the good things. I don't know if you know this. It's the books by Josh with an S. And you're thinking to yourself, wait, books? You only have one published book. See, that's where you're wrong. You would have been right before September, technically before October. But I have put out two new books, a finance book and a poetry book. Listen, I know what you're thinking because like I said, I recorded this earlier and I have to start over from scratch. You're thinking, hey Josh, you're a mystery writer. Why do you have a finance book and a poetry book? Well, here's the thing. Here's what happened. Now, but seriously, I am what you would call jack of all trades, master of none. Go into that later, but I want to write what I want to write. I want to have different types of books that anybody can pick up and read based on their favorite genre. And I'm working on some other stuff in the background, but the main thing is, let me talk about the first book, the finance book. The name of the book is The 12 Steps to Wealth, and the subtitle is From Budgeting to Financial Freedom and Beyond. And of course, the author is yours truly, Joshua A. Rodriguez. I need to say a disclaimer here, and you're probably going to attack me. I did use AI to assist me in writing that book. I'm keeping a buck, as we say here in New York. I'm keeping 100, trying to be completely honest. And then you know, I did have the outline, did have what I want to cover, and I use AI to help me portray it professionally in that book. Do I regret it? Honestly, I'm not going to tell you I do. I did that book. It's there. Am I going to use AI for further books? No. I will not use AI to completely write a book. I will use it to help me proofread, grammar, stuff like that. But to completely write a book, I've never done that as of yet. I'm just letting you know. Like I said, the last one, I had the outline, I had what I wanted to talk about, and I use AI to assist me in putting that book together, and the cover is AI. I know, pay artists, I do that for my bigger works. These are smaller books that I publish. You can read in an hour. For the novels, that's a different story. We'll touch on that soon. But let's go back. So that's the finance book. So that's there. Just some tips of finance, the 12 steps that my friend who's a millionaire taught me. I've known him for almost 20 years. No, not that much. 17 years. It is almost 20, but he's taught me a lot. Came to this country as an immigrant, and he came here and he hustled. He worked hard, and he was able to achieve the American dream and build real estate in his home country. So I applaud him, and he shared some nuggets, and I took notes, and I give props to him in the foreword. Want to take a look? You can. Where, by the way, all my books, these are all ebooks, still physical right now. And you can find them on Kobo, Smashwords, Apple Books, Google Play Books, Kindle, Barnes and Noble Nook. Anywhere ebooks are sold, you'll find them there. But that's the finance book. That came out in October. In November, I dropped a poetry book. And I don't know if you're a new listener, semi-new, old listener, but I've been a published poet since my late teens. I won a contest, all that. So poetry was one of my original ways to express myself. And I've been writing poetry since, what, 10 years old? I'm not saying it was good, but I've been writing poetry for that long. And this poetry book, before I give you the name, give you a disclaimer. It's not AI. That's not the disclaimer here. Disclaimer is it's dark poetry. American Gothic. It's some pretty dark stuff. So do that. Take that knowledge and figure out if that's something you want to take a look at or read. But that's the disclaimer. The title is Still Here, Somehow. The subtitle is Poetry from a Dark Place. I'm letting you know off the jump. Hey, it's from a dark place, right? Don't judge. It's just an expression of my inner thoughts in that book. And guess what? Joshua A. Rodriguez. A. Period. Rodriguez. And that's that book. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to touch on it now because I did mention it earlier. Jack of all trades. Why do I say that? Well, if you've been listening and you see my scattershot approach to publishing content, I'm not fully always there mentally. All right? I'm shooting from the heart here. And the thing is, yeah, I suffer from depression, things like that. And my main way that I try to escape it, I know some people are saying right now that, hey, therapy, listen, let's just talk here, let me talk, is reading. Because when you read, especially if it's fiction, you can view yourself in that environment. You want the story to take you away from the situation you're in. It is escapism, once again. Some people have vices, drugs, alcohol, whatever. My vice is reading right now, right? That's what we're talking about. But when I say escapism, for reading, when I read, I try to picture it in my mind. Try to imagine how everything is. Especially since I've been an avid reader since I was young. And that's the great thing about reading. It lets you experience fantasies. I do read finance books, business books, biographies, but I'm focusing on the fantasy here. And it lets you escape. So my goal when I wanted to become an author and I became an author is to give the next generation that feeling. Have someone pick up my book and have them escape from wherever they're feeling and actually be able to envision the world that I built. I can't say I'm the greatest. I'm not out here trying to become that Stephen King, make millions of dollars. No, I want to express myself in the written format with my novels and my other books, and have someone just appreciate it. And the greatest feeling that I get so far is I was on Goodreads trying fits because I forgot to put the A when I did my author's page. Now it's a whole thing. But the main thing is when I was looking at my books there and I saw the poetry book, there's a person from Australia. I've never met this person. I've never spoken to him. I never asked him to buy the book. They purchased my book and they gave it a star rating, which meant the world to me because it meant someone, not someone that's close to me, friends or family, some random person out there in the world, took time out of the day to purchase my book, read my book, and left a review. It was a 3 out of 5, and guess what? That's completely fine with me. They would give me a 1 out of 5, I would have been happy too because it just meant someone put something that I wrote and wanted to rate it. And it's just a great feeling because guess what? Not everybody reviews stuff they purchase. I purchase a lot of stuff. I barely review it. When I read books, I do review them on Goodreads if I'm doing like a reading challenge against my siblings, but it's just a different type of feeling. So let's talk about what's happening. And as you see, I put out a book a month for the last 2 months. Am I going to do a book in December? No clue. Because I could try like a short form content, another poetry book, stuff like that, maybe. I also could not do it because I am working on Private Eye 2. Some of you new listeners might be asking yourself, what's Private Eye 2? Or maybe all the listeners because they don't know what Private Eye 1 was. Private Eye 1 is the first adventure of Jason Streep, is my first book that I published. It's a mystery novel. It's kind of like a homage to the Hardy Boys, but not, but they influenced me, of course, like most young boys. And Nancy Drew, young girls, hey, I read Nancy Drew too, but it was my attempt to give a more modern type of mystery novel that almost anybody could pick up and read. Do I recommend it for ages? I'd say 13 over, but I digress. So, Private Eye 2 is the continuation of Private Eye 1. I'm up to chapter 15. Before I started writing again, I was on chapter 8. So I have put in 7 chapters. And when I said start writing again, I mean basically after the Japan trip. So I've been working on it. And I did mention AI before, and the next episode of the podcast will focus more on that. But AI has helped me get back into creating. As I mentioned, I'm not telling it to write me the book. No, I'm doing prompts just to get conversation started, see how it responds, things like that. I have different AI tools, so I'll touch up on that in the next episode. So I don't want to talk about AI all day here. But the main thing is, it has me creating again, which is great for everyone because I have more of that book. Some content. Some content, sorry, not contents. The first book was about 23,500 words. The entire book. I'm talking about start to finish. 23,500 ish. Right now, I'm in the mid 30,000s. And I'm not done yet. So it is a longer book. It's been 7 years though, but it's going to come out. Been working on that. And it's more characters than I had in the first book. More dialogue. A different setting. With twists and turns that I don't even know how the book's going to end. I write from the sea of my pants, just like Stephen King. That's the one thing we have in common, other than we're both writers. But I'm working on that. And for those kind of books, I will get an artist from like Fiverr, Upwork, or someone I know to do the book cover for me. Because it's a full-fledged novel, unlike the shorter forms that I released these past 2 months. And the next book that I want to do after this. So I mentioned that I want to do a mystery novel, and I did. And I'm doing the sequel to it because I have a story, and also this book will set up the scenes for the next book because I want it to be an ongoing series, like the Hardy Boys. But it's all connected. But the next book I want to write, I do have a bunch of different ideas in my head on my notes of different stories I want to write. Have two different genres though. Like I said, I'm doing a scattershot approach because I want to be able to write different genres because hey, people might like history, people might like romance, people might like mystery, people might like finance, poems, whatever. I want to be that person. It's gonna suck for metrics because guess what? Not everybody's gonna buy every single book I write. I get that. That's asking a lot. It's your money you're spending, and if it's not something that you like, don't buy that genre. But I have two different genres I'm looking at: romance and drama. With the romance, will be one of those 30 books. No, I don't think I'll go like a erotica, smut kind of route. Keep it PG-ish and like skip over fornication scenes, stuff like that. Like I do read romance books from time to time, so that's one route. I do have a story, basically beginning, middle, and end, draft in my head for that one compared to the mystery novel. Great surprise, but that's there. And with that, it's like, do I want to write two perspectives or one? Like, I'm a male. Am I going to write it from a male's point of view? Do I do third person point of view or switch between the male and female leads? I don't know. The drama, here's the thing with the drama. This drama, I've had this idea. I've had stuff written down for this idea since 2009. It's 2025 right now. And I'm honestly scared to write that book because I started with the Jason Street series because it was easier for me to write. What do I mean by easier? It is a mystery novel. I love mysteries. I've watched mystery shows. So it's something I grew up with. The drama book I want to write is I personally feel like it's putting me in a different place. I am no longer just some guy who just writes. I'm a novelist with that because I want it to be over 50,000 words. I can't say it's going to be 150. I can't say 100. I just know that it's going to be a larger scale book than things I've written so far. Private Eye 2 is the longest long form content I have personally written. And I'm chapter 15 right now, like I said, about 35, 37,000 words in. And this book I'm talking about is going to be longer than that. And I feel like that book is more mainstream. And I'm just give you the title. I'm not going to give you the subtitle or any context. It's just called Phone Call. What does a phone call mean? Hey, it's a call that comes to your phone. But that's the next project I want to tackle. This episode that I sat down to record, if you look 2 years ago, episode 86. This is episode 89, 3 episodes later. I go through a lot, but episode 86 was talk about always starting over because in that episode, which was recorded in November 2023, it's around the holiday time. And if you look at the, the year 2022, I have an episode that talk about basically depression during the holidays. And with that, it is my best performing episode. Thousands of listens on that episode. And it hit some pretty deep stuff. And then last year, 2023, November, I'm talking about always starting over. And now I'm giving you an update. It's getting to the holiday time. These are all in the holiday season. holiday depression is real. And as you can probably clearly tell, I do suffer from it, like many. So I just want to put out some form of content right now to let you guys know I'm still here. I put out 2 books. I'm working on my novels on the back end, but as listeners to a podcast, you wouldn't know that. So this is an update to let you know there was stuff that was promised, and I'm delivering on it. It has been slow, and I appreciate all of the listeners that are here, subscribe, and when they see that notification, a new episode, they listen. I do see the metrics. They random people pick up new episodes and listen, and I'm trying to get better at that. I say this every episode, but by me putting out 2 forms of content and books, I'm getting back to my roots, which is writing. I bought like a fat head for this so I can record again because my last one broke. And it's like I'm trying here, and I want to just thank you guys for being here on the journey with me. And I do have 3 podcast channels. I've also done some other stuff this past year and last year. I've been featured on a couple other podcasts, and they plugged me. I plugged them on the show. So I will work on content with that because you guys don't want to just hear me talk all the time. I hate hearing my own voice when I have to have it. I can't imagine for you guys, but I'm trying to work better. I say this every year, but I'm writing again, and I'm in a better headspace. Even though I might lose my 9 to 5, as they call it, next month, still in a better headspace than I've been in years. That, like I said, AI is to thank, even though AI might be a bubble, but it lets me be creative and it makes me want to be better than the AI. It's like the story of John Henry being the steam engine. It's just like that. I want to beat the machine and show we can still produce quality content. And if you guys want, like I said, check out my books. Anywhere you find ebooks, look up Joshua A. Rodriguez. You have Private Eye, The First Adventure of Jason Streak, The 12 Steps to Wealth, From Budgeting to Financial Freedom and Beyond, and Still Here Somehow, Poetry from a Dark Place. If you guys want written content that's not in the form of a book, that's completely free, I have you covered. You can go to booksbyjosh.com. I earned that S. And there's blog posts, book reviews there. I haven't posted there even longer than podcasting, but I'm working on that too, now as we're speaking as well. And if you enjoy my voice, I don't know why, but you can also find me on Manga with Josh, or Manga, Manga with Josh, me, and my other show, Tech with Josh. And guess what? It's spelled TEK with Josh. CH was taken. But that's it for this episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.